All right, so good afternoon, programmers.
Good afternoon, sir.
So good afternoon once again. Good afternoon, programmers. So today we are going to discuss our discussion. Uh, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, po, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, just wait for a while. Okay, so once again, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, programmers. So for today, we're gonna be discussing, let's get keep going in. Uh, let's continue our discussion in a few data structures now on how the people in the early earlier life actually do the structuring or data structuring. So did you that the things that we are going to do for today uh, will be encryption or data encryption. So, as we all know, in data encryption, when we talk about data encryption or encryption, it's a process of making the what they call this one, a message, being hidden to a normal people. So it's a process of hiding the real message into a certain message. So this time, what we are going to do is, what is this? Yeah. So this time we are going to discuss about a few encryption that has been used for quite some time, and I'm not certain if these are still being used today. Okay, so again, when we talk about encryption, this is a process of hiding a certain message uh, in such a way that it cannot be read, uh, it cannot be easily read by other persons. Okay, so you have here one of the encryptions that we are going to do is cesar cipher encryption. Okay, so when we talk about encryption, it has been existing for a while, especially in the in the event where World War II happened. Now during the I mean during the World War II, it happened that the this what we call, if you try to if you have watched the movie Imitation Game, which is the story about the Alan Turing, on how Alan Turing decrypted the Enigma. Enigma is one of the most encrypted, no, the most secured encryption process by the Germans, no, Adolf Hitler. So little did we know that not only armies and the soldiers are the hero during World War II. There's also this. We can also tap some of the. Just wait for a while. Pakibalik lang. So we can also tap uh, our what they call this one, those that are in line in parang those that are those who have studied a computer science now for quite some time. So one of this is the Alan Turing. So he created the Turing machine. He created a Turing machine in which it is actually going to it actually what it did was to decrypt the Enigma encryption by the Germans Adolf Hitler to know that to know the techniques, the strategy, or the plan of the Germans on which possible no is going to be attacked, which place is going to be attacked by the Germans. So if you want to if you want to know more or to know further about that story, you can actually watch that one in the movie imitation game or the imitation game. So I guess nagdala ana is si Benedict Cumberbatch katong sa kisay na siya sa Marvel, sa Avengers, si
Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Doctor
Strange.
Strange. Oo, si Doctor Strange. If you happen to watch it, it's a good and a good ano no, it's a good movie to watch, especially for us no IT related people, IT or comsci or whatever, basta mga IT related people. So, yeah, no, one of the few things na nakatabang sa pag-suppress sa war during that ano no sa World War II is the creation of Alan Turing, which is the Turing machine, no. So again, it decrypted the Enigma encryption of Germans. So also after that, now we have this also in historically we can say that the the encryption has been also used by uh, mga early people like Julius Caesar in terms of delivering or in terms of sending messages to other kingdom or to other palace. They actually used to encrypt their messages so that it will not be easily read or it cannot be easily accessed by yeah, I mean the idea there is, although this can be accessed by if happened that the messenger is na parang if the messenger is going to be na ano sa sana mga intruders. So just in case inana ang mahitabo along the way na i-send ang messages through horses, no? So messengers use horses before, and then at least the moment they are going to open the letter or they're going to open the mail or that message, so when they open it, dili siya basta-basta mabasa in human language or human readable form. So that's where encryption happened. So I mean, that's their idea to keep their message being secured, no? So para dili siya basta-basta ma, dili basta-basta ma-read ang message, no, the original message. So they'll need to encrypt it, especially during those times na ay mga tension, na war. So yun, na one of their ways to actually make the message being secured is to do encryption process. So again, one of the simplest way to encrypt is using Cesar ciphertext. So or we sometimes other books called is a shift ciphertext. So in encryption, this there is this what we call um, plain text. Sorry. So plain text is any uh, it's the original message. So basically, this is the original message. Okay, and then when we talk about the ciphertext is any text that is the hidden message. No, so basically, this is the hidden message. Yeah. Sorry because my pen tab is not working in Mac OS. Okay. So you have here hidden message. So plain text, cipher text. So in Cesar cipher text, encryption is going to convert plain text into cipher text, and then when we talk about decrypt, it's taking back the cipher text into plain text. So vice baliktad, no? So encryption, decryption. Now in Cesar cipher text, we have this what we call shift or the key, no, or the shift key. So the shift key is any numeric value which is used for shifting the letter using the alphabet. By the way, Cesar cipher uses the alphabet, or Cesar ciphertext uses the alphabet, English alphabet A to Z, where the shift or the key is actually used for shifting the letter, or let's say the letter, I mean per letter of the plain text is going to be shifted using the key towards the right. So meaning, let's say for an instance, we are going to have a plain text. Let's say our plain text is okay, John Paul. Okay, so let's say our plain text is John Paul, and we plan to send a message where we want to encrypt this message. And then let's say our key or our shift is 4. So using the English alphabet, A to Z, so that's A, B, of course, now C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and T. Wait for a while. T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So using this alphabet, we are going to shift each letter of if each character or letter of the plain text using 4 shift moving forward moving forward to the right side. So towards the right. So example, we have J, and then you shift from J 4 shift going to the right. That's our ciphertext would be, so cipher text. You have here J. So J is here. So using the shift key for JK 1, 2, 3, 4. So the value for J in ciphertext is N. Okay. Next is O. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's T. Ayan. So T. Ayan. And then we have here another is, let's say H. So H, that is here 1, 2, 3, 4. So L. And then we have N. So N is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's R. So meaning to say, this is the ciphertext for Jan. And you can also do that for Paul. Okay, so NTLR. So who could imagine that a message that you are trying to send is actually Jan, but in the once you open it, you are the once it is opened by someone, it is actually written in a form of NTLR. So using, of course, the shift key, or yeah, that's no that's the Cesar ciphertext encryption. So now we are going to write a program that does this one. Okay, any questions so far?
Sir, 5 ay, ayun, lagi ng ano.
5 laging O, sir.
Asa
Na si O gani, sir.
4J
5 O,
1
sir.
2 3 4. Unsa? Sa N? Sa
O, sir.
J?
O.
Oo,
O?
sir. Solid.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ay, what I mean, sa O, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
S
So,
dapat.
dapat
S.
S. Okay, sorry. Actually, mali ang keyboard. So, we have mali ang keyboard, ang keyboard ang mali. So, that is for O, no? So, we have dapat S ni dire. Tama?
Yes po.
J, 1,
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, and O is 1, 2, 3, 4. So S. Okay, thank you for that. So this time we are now going to implement this in a code or in a program. So let's go now to Eclipse. So let's create a program that does that encryption. So let's say we have test cesar cipher text. So this is our tester. This is our main program. So before we are going to create an ADT for our Cesar ciphertext. Let's discuss a few concepts on how are we going to convert a certain value or a certain character into another character. I mean, how are we going to shift? So if you try to if actually this is how you do it now in shifting from one character to another character. As we all know, character is a numeric value. So once you actually add a certain character by number, it is considered as a character. It will be converted automatically as character. Let's say for an instance, we have here a character that says you have here C, okay, and then you're going to add 2 by no add 2, so meaning C plus 2. That's when we are going to display this in our program. This would give us what? So the character C is going to be shifted to 2. So as a result, this would give us E. Yan, no? So this would give us an E character. So there, no? E. So how is that possible? So again, character C is considered as numerical value once it is added by a number, and since our holder is CH, it's the character, it is automatically converted into a character. So let's say for an instance, we have a string value. Let's say our string is Jan, okay? And that's it. And then we'll just need to have a looping statement for that para i-convert na to per string or per character in the string. So let's say we have int I is equal to 0 and all other characters of str. So using the length, then I plus plus. Okay, so now that we have already here the Jan as the value of str, we are now going to visit per character, and then let's say we are going to shift, or our shift is, or our key is, let's say 4. So all we just need to do is we are going to shift by 4 now for every character of the str. So let's have a string holder which is used for concatenating the value after shifting. So let's say we have hold plus equals, okay, and then this time we are going to shift, we are going to visit. So how are we going to visit the character of the string? By using carat method. So this time we are going to shift by key. Now, as you can see, it's similar to what we did right here. However, if you are going to display this in your program, we would probably arrive different or different output. So wait for a while. So let's say we are going to display hold. Okay, so let's run the program, and this time it would give us 11101 blah 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 etc. Now it is because of, okay, why? It is because of this one. So it's considered as a number value, and it's a number value, and it is concatenated to a string. So what we'll need to do is we will need to convert this into a character value. So typecast nato siya into character before nato siya i-add into, before nato siya ibutang to hold. So how do we do that? We just simply typecast the value. Okay. So by typecasting, we tell the compiler to change, okay, to typecast the value of each character by adding number, which is let's say key. Okay, by adding it with that specific value, let's say J, with that specific value, and then before we are going to put that in a string, we'll need to first typecast it into character. So with that, we're able to come up with the value NSLR, which is, if you try to look at it in our program based on in our in the concept that we made for Cesar Cipher is NSLR, the same thing with what we have right here. So how is that possible? So it is possible because of the um, ASCII code. No? So ASCII code means, ASCII code, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. No, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. As we all know, every letter in our alphabet has corresponding ASCII code. So for A, I'm not sure if for A is 97. Is it 97 or 95? Let's try. So we have here character. Yeah. So character Try na to ha. To prove if it is really so character 95. So the character 95 is actually delete siya. Letter try na to 97. So that's A. So meaning to say character 98 is B. So ASCII code 98 is actually when it is converted into a character it is B. So yan. So the same thing with when it is this is 97. Same thing with let's try 65 for capital letters. Yan, very good. So this is basically a small or lowercase a, and this is basically the uppercase a. So using ASCII code, since we have here Jan at it is written in a lowercase form, therefore we follow this one. So the ASCII code of J is probably what 4 that's 90 how 100 plus na no. So let's say A B C D E F G H I J, that's 97 plus 10, probably 107. Am I right? Do you follow? So H I J H I J 106 lang di ay. So 97 plus 10, that's 106, no? So probably 106 is this is J. Okay? So again, 97 is the A. And therefore, what I am trying to elaborate here is that when you are going to add J, okay, when you're going to add J by, let's say, a shift to 4, okay? So this is the first character J. In a shift nimo by 4, the ASCII code of J is actually 97, 90, pila to, 106. Tama? Okay? And then plus the key, which is 4. So it would give us 110. So therefore, 110 is actually, what is that? N. Okay, let's check. So if the character N is actually 110. So 110. I mean I mean lowercase n. So that's it. It's n. So that is how our computer converts our characters. So question. Do you have any question? Am I understood? Nakuha class? Do you follow? Hello? Hello?
Sunod pa naman
Hello?
ako.
Yes po, sir. Yes.
Okay, good. So, meaning to say, for every character in the letter or in our string, it is it is read as ASCII code. It is represented by an ASCII code plus the key, okay, plus the key. And then since we have the loop here, every character is read JOHN plus 4, and then the equivalent ASCII code for that will be converted into a character, and that is what they hold is going to hold, no, and what is going to be held, something like that. So however, there's a problem with let's say for an instance we have Johnny, and then if you're going to shift Y to 4 moving forward or moving to the right, that's Y QR is Z. So if you're not going to trap the value for the Y, no, because again we only have like pila gani 26, no, in the alphabet, in the English alphabet. And then as we all know, we have actually a lot of characters in our keyboard, and it is represented by an ASCII code. So meaning to say an ampersand could have an ASCII code, sharp at or something like percent, or anything na makita nimo as a character of our character in our keyboard shall have representation of ASCII code. And once mag-shift siya, that is going to be parang more than to the Z, it's going to it's going to capture what? It's going to capture the ASCII code of the special characters. So like for an instance, Y. So if we are going to include Y in our string, it will give us another character which is not nawala na siya sa scope sa alphabet. So that is what we are going to do later on. Okay? So, but at least you're able to know now that this is the motivation in which this is how it is converted into, I mean, this is how we actually shift or do the Cesar cipher shift. But of course, this is not what we do here in data structure. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to create an ADT for our cesar ciphertext. So to do that, we are going to create a, so I know, di na ako explain sa inyo ang ADT or what is the reason why we do ADT. So we are now going to create a cesar cipher encryption. And then in here, dili ta maghimo og ato ang algorithm. Okay, so what are the components of Cesar cipher? So first is we should have a plain text and together with the ciphertext. So again, the plain text is the original message while the ciphertext is the encrypted message. Okay, then probably we would have a key or a shift. So it depends to you, no, kung key or shift imong gamiton, but this time you have key. So I guess these are the basic components of what makes up a Cesar ciphertext. Now we can actually instantiate it by, I mean, we can actually create a constructor for our Cesar cipher uh, by, yeah, so by initializing our Cesar plaintext and ciphertext into a null or initial with that initial value. So it is important for us to initialize our plaintext and ciphertext to have this value because as a string, once you don't initialize it by any value, it will automatically initialize to null. So the Java will automatically initialize it to null, and once initialize niya to null, the moment we concatenate a value with the string, it will have a null value. Parang isumpay niya ang null value. So kaya it would be safe if we are going to initialize our string by this one, no, meaning it's an empty string. And then for our key, we can have like 0 for our key. So this is a typical constructor. So this time we can ask the user to like create a plain text or create a setter and getter like transformers and observers for our encryption or for our Cesar ciphertext. So if you want na si Java mag-generate for us, we can actually make use of this IDE Eclipse to do that setter and getter thing or transformer and observer. But we can actually create our own like set tapos set plain text. Yan. So something like this one, no? Or yeah, you can actually go to source and then generate getters and setters. All you just need to do is select all and then generate. And there you're able to come up with okay, Java knows already that, no? If Java knows already our intention that we are actually trying to create a setters and getters for each of the member of our ciphertext, like plaintext, ciphertext, and key. Okay, so now that you have already setters and getters, yeah, it's up to you. We can actually arrange them. We can actually arrange this to like we are going to arrange them in by setters and by getters. So para dili ta malibog. Yeah, so this is like your setters or your transformers. Okay, and this is all your getters here or your observers. Okay, all right. So at this juncture, we have already setters and getters. Of course, once we actually call it here, so we can now erase this one. So once we instantiate the Cesar Cipher, Cesar Cipher ADT, let's say Cesar new Cesar happen. Yan. Okay. So let's say we are going to set the plain text. So Cesar.set plain text. So our plain text is John. And then we are going to also send or set a key. Let's say our key is 4. Now, of course, if we are going to encrypt it, Cesar dot uh, set ciphertext is the one that the Java generates. However, I don't want to name that for generating ciphertext. I want to create my own method for that, no, para mas clear, para mas I mean para mas clear ako ang method. Okay, I'll be the one to create that. We will be the one to create for this one. Instead of ciphertext, we are going to change this set ciphertext into encrypt. Okay, so encrypt. So there you are. You have here an encrypt message. So as we all know, encryption does not display directly ciphertext and does not even display, it does not even get any value from the user like ciphertext. So once we set the plain text, okay, so therefore dapat we will need to remove this one, and then we do the encryption process using Cesar ciphertext. Now, how do we do that? So to do that is we'll need a katong earlier atong gibuhat kanina sa test Cesar ciphertext. That's what we actually do. So we have hold, okay, and then let's have a character ch, okay, to represent the shifting of per character in our string, okay, and then we'll have a loop. So dapat dahil wala na to erase kanina anyway. So I is less than 0, I is less than. So where do we get the plain text? Because we don't actually put it right here. We can actually call the get plain text or simply the plain text. Yan, simply pwede ra plain text diretso. Okay, so it's up to you. Either you use the method or you use the data member. Anyway, you can use any of this, no? Either the plain text member or plain text attribute or the plain text. So it's up to you, but in my case, I will just use the plain text directly. So this time, I'm gonna be getting the length of that plain text, and then after that, I plus plus. So now, I am going to visit per character of the plain text using the character ch. So ch is equal to plain text, okay, plus that char at, by the way. So char at to represent the character per character of that string plus the key. So, and then after that, diba, I've told you earlier of we'll need to typecast this one into character. Okay, so i-typecast na to siya into character before we can actually store them to hold. So, in here, pwede ra directly atong buhaton would be something like hold plus equal to plain text. Which is what we this is what we did earlier. But para formal, we can actually use hold, ch, and then before we actually concatenate it, at kailangan sa nato may balance si ch. But then again, pwede talaga hapon tong kanina, no? Like hold plus equals to char without even using ch. Okay? So, and then after that, yeah, actually, instead of hold, let's say instead of doing this into in your program like Cipher, text would have the value coming from the hold. So why not, no? Why not mananap dito? Why not diretso na lang mo mag use og ciphertext rather than hold? So kumbaga, the ciphertext will have the value which is in the encrypted message once we perform encrypt. Okay, so after that, when you call the observers get ciphertext, of course the ciphertext equivalent of the of the plain text will be returned. Okay, so let's try to do it here in our program. So we have here, so since it's a value returning ang ciphertext, kailangan na to siya or yeah, get ciphertext. So we have cesar.encrypt. Okay, so I've already set the plain text, Jan, and set key for, and we do the process of encryption, and then uh, we are going to call the get ciphertext. So, okay, when we get to run our program, this would have NSLR. So that's one of the ways that we can do in doing encryption using abstract data type. Okay, so that's another one, and there are actually a lot of ways to do it. There are actually a lot of things you can do in your ADT. No, there's no one stopping you from doing that. There's no one stopping you from reinventing your method. Like for an instance, instead of instead of this like this, sir, what if I'm going to, I'm going to create a constructor that would allow me to, or allow the user to directly put in a plain text. Is it possible, sir? Yeah, of course, no, it's possible. Together with the key, you can actually do this, like plain text and key, or you can simply exclude key, and then you can create another that would have altogether, no, put in plain text and key. But this time, why not mananap bitaw? Why not we do this like a plain text at the same time with the key? So of course, what you will do right here is you will need to update the plain text by the plain text coming from the user, and the ciphertext which should be declared as no value. So let's say we don't declare ciphertext as empty value. So what will happen is that, so let's say we will also include key. I'm gonna try this one. We don't include or we don't initialize the ciphertext. Let's try if ever na mags if we do ciphertext here, let's try. So we'll create another object of Cesar cipher, and then let's say we are going to use Cesar1, and then this time we'll be using the overloaded constructor, which is, let's say we will be assigning Jan. This one is possible because we just created a constructor, a parameterized constructor that is actually, that has overloaded actually the our constructor. So let's say we have 4 here, and then, so meaning to say, you don't have to call set plain text and set key anymore. All you just need to call is cesar1 dot encrypt. Okay, so cesar1 dot encrypt does the encryption of Jan and 4. So let's try another word na lang. Let's say hello. Okay, and then we are going to call cesar1 dot get ciphertext. So if we are going to run the program, let's try if it will give us yan. So as you can see, you have there null. So null is considered as a value when we get to concatenate it to ciphertext, kasi we don't explicitly initialize the ciphertext as an empty text, or as an empty string. So therefore, that's what I have told you earlier, na kailangan na to explicitly initialize the ciphertext by an empty string. With that, if we are going to rerun again our program, you would have an amazing world. Bitaw joke lang. You would have there the value without null, without null concatenated to our hello encrypted message. Okay, so if you can do that to your constructor, sir, is it possible to create another encrypt message that, or encryption that does that? Of course, you can have that one. Let's say public void encrypt, happened to my Eclipse? Ano naging ato? So you can actually do void encrypt with the plain text and the key. Okay, instead of course, this one, what you will need to do is copy this one and then paste it right here. Yeah, something like that. You can do the instead of, okay, if we are going to call this, of course, you can simply call this from here. Like you wanna, let's say cesar2, and then you just instantiate the cesar using default constructor because you plan to call the encrypt overloaded constructor, which assigns or which allows the user to actually give, right, put in or something like assign a string value to it, and then let's say we are going to assign key. So it is possible because we just created that encrypt method inside of our ADT. So once we get uh, to test run it in our program, we, okay, wala pa di ay, sorry, excited lang. So we have here in cesar dot cesar2 dot get ciphertext there. So we have there, oh, what happened? Encrypt cesar2 get ciphertext, and why is that so? Nawala na display. Cesar Cipher Eclipse. So let's check. Ah, I see. Because, okay, what happens here is that we instantiate the value of plain text like this one. So ang nahitabo here would be, so we assign plain text with key and plain text dot length. So tama, tama, tama. And then we have here ciphertext ciphertext as a value. So yeah, so it's right what happened. So we have here Cesar okay. So dapat 2 din siya. Sorry class. So kulang ta. So kasi na-confuse ko sa Cesar dapat 1. Anyway, Cesar 2 dapat kasi Cesar 2 man atong object dire. So when we get to run it, we'll have here MK, QTX, blah, 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 something like that. So, sir, is there any possible that we can like enhance our encrypt into something like a value returning? Yeah, you can do that, no? So, as much as you like to do it, then do it. So let's say it's a value returning encrypt. Let's say it is going to return directly the text or the ciphertext. So you can actually do that. However, since we have already the name that says encrypt, so why not change this into something like encrypt test? So yeah, encrypt test na lang. And then this program would now, or this method would now, okay, pwede na siya by, let's say, cesar3, and then we can directly call uh, cesar3 dot encrypt s. So encrypt s, that's the that's the method that we just created earlier. So let's say we are going to do structure. Yeah. And then the key is, let's say, so again ha, don't ask me na ang key sir pwede ba input? Of course, pwede na siya input from the user. What we just did is para dili na tawasin kayong input. I know that is not new to you. So again, we can use mga fixed na values. If you wanna ask the user to enter a value for your plain text, you can actually ask that, and even key for from an even key for or key value for from your user. So if we run this program, instead of kani, as you can see ato ang cesar 3 is, instead of, kung napansin niyo atong encrypt, because it's void here sa cesar 2, we used to call the encrypt with void method or with void definition, compared to cesar 3 with encrypt s, that is it's going to return directly in the encrypted text. But of course, this one is a lot structured. Parang you first do the encryption and then before you get the ciphertext. And this one is actually a lot parang mas easy to understand kasi you are able to accept plain text muna and then set the key and then encrypt and then before you display get ciphertext. But then again, there's no problem with this one. So it depends to you, no? Kung uh, depende na sa imong algorithm. Okay, so that's for encryption process. Now, how about, sir, if you try to look at it or observe what happened in our program, there are certain outputs in our ciphertext that are, check ninyo, there are characters there that are actually parang characters that are not part of the alphabet or English alphabet. So what we can do for that is we are going uh, to do a what they call this one, a certain condition. Now a certain condition that if ever the if ever the character is going to be it's going to be like mula pa siya from the alphabets A to Z, we will do some error trapping for that. Okay, so how do we do that, sir? So secret inyo palang MID. So this time atong buhaton would be ato ning i ato ni siyang buhaton diri na, let's say. What we can do for that is, una, first is, nakuha na nimo you have here the key, the plain text, no? Ayan. So, we can now, do something like if ch, okay, if the character is going to, like, to be more than the value z. Oh, by the way, lahi biya ang values sa lowercase and uppercase, no? So but this time i-lowercase na nato siya. Okay, I'm gonna show you later on sa difference kung uppercase. So if ever na in ana ang, meaning to say if more than z na ang character, what we are going to do is let's have here, so if ch is greater than z, we are going to do the parang minus let's say the so we'll need to, sorry guys, we'll need to first capture muna the character plus, so let's have here an integer value. So we have here, let's say uh, alpha value or something like inana na lang. O sige. So you'll have alpha value or it depends sa imo kung unsa ang imuhang gamiton na variable. So we have here, let's say alpha value. Or you can actually use CHDI, no? Pwede na si CH yung gamiton. Sige, wait ha. So, there's nothing wrong with using CH instead of alpha-val. But this time, we are going to use the modulus division in such a way that kung pila ka number of characters, pila ka characters sa English alphabet, which is actually 26, okay? So, that is what we are going to do, no? So, have here so wait for a while, modulus to 26. So this one would capture the value. Okay, just wait for a while. Plain text, plain text at character. And so this time, since character siya, so This time i-convert na to ang character by ch, I mean by int, or we can use alpha value. Kaya pala kailangan nato siya i-convert into integer value. Okay? So this one, ang ginabuhat ani is kwaon niya ang ASCII code value, no? So ASCII code value of, let's say, we have here xy axb. So this is our, let's say, plain text axb. And then, as we all know, the plain text, the ASCII code of A is 97, while the ASCII code of X is, I don't know, what's the ASCII code of X? So that's 97 plus 26. How much is that? Pila ang 97 plus 26? That is 130, 130 pila, 130, 30, 33?
3 yata, sir. 133.
123.
123.
123.
133.
Basta, yeah. So, kasi may mga, ano rin, 97 plus 120, 97 plus 26. So, this is 100, 123. So, that's the, i-check sana. Pwede mo na ito i-check, no? Anong di good? I-check sana to. I-check na to, be. Don't you worry, i-check na to. Yeah. So, this is 123. Yan. Dili. So, pila to dapat? 197.
23, sir.
123. So, ang 97 is A. So, tama. Okay? So, kung 97 plus 126 is actually, pila gani? 123. So, dapat, okay. Oh yeah, tama dai ko. Dapat ibalik niya to letter in a parang circular. Balik, kung mulapas na siya Z, mubalik siya to A, B, C, D. But it happened na dili siya mubalik. No? So, that is why, since lapas siya sa English alphabet ang 123, motong nag-condition ta. Motong, atong gibuhat dire, sorry for that. So, since 123 is more than, kasi ang Z, unsay alphabet sa Z? Unsay ASCII code sa Z? 97 plus 97 plus 26 is try na to 122. Basin this would give us Z. Tama? Z, no? Kita ninyo? Hello? Nakita niyo, class?
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So ang ASCII code 122 is Z. So pag more than 122 na, let's say 123, it's the other character anymore. So mautong ang 123 di ay, we understood that 123 would give us kani ba or kadto? Ana? Basta either sa duha. Para tanaw na lang nato kung unsa jud. So it's actually baliktad. So it's actually open curly braces. So with that, what we are going to do with this when it is going to be mag-exceed siya sa 122, okay? So mo na to ang ano karon, dapat mubalik siya sa A instead of Z, instead of kani nga character. So dapat mubalik siya sa A, which is mubalik siya to i-convert niya into, mahimo siya balik into 97. Okay? So 123 para mubalik siya to 197 unsa tong buhaton? So ASCII code of this one is 123, which is this one is 123 minus pila dapat atong A para mubalik siya to 97 mag minus pila ta? 26. Pila na? 123 minus 26.
97.
97.
97.
So dapat mo balik siya sa A. So tama na ta. So dapat mo balik siya sa A if mula pa siya Z. Nakuha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that, okay. So tama ato ang algorithm in doing so. So here, okay, pag sobra siya, pag ang alphabet or ang ASCII code na lang is more than Z, okay? So pwede pod na depende na sa inyo ano kung gusto mo like if alpha Z is greater than 122, pwede na inyo buhaton. Pero yan, what if wala ta kabalo sa numeric ASCII code of the Z. So better safe na Z na lang. So if more than Z ang value sa atong alpha value, atong buhaton would be okay, ano na to si alpha value minus equals to 26. I-minus na to, which is this time, okay, this time atong buhaton would be plus, okay. So, nawa na noon si CH. Anyway, pwede ra na si CH inyuhang inanion class na CH equals to plain text dot, sorry, plain text dot char at I, okay, and then ibutang nyo si CH dire. Pwede inana. Okay? Pwede na po itong inato ganina akong gibuhat. Okay? So, wait ha. So, either, ayan, depende na sa inyong algorithm. So, let's say, ato na lang ano, para dili kayo siya ubot. So, like that, no? So, kuha sa nato ang character and then, character, which is the ASCII code of that, plus, pag mulapas siya by 26, meaning, ang key is 4, actually, ano siya, key, which is let's say 4 divided by 26, that's always 4, 6 divided by 26 kasi 26 atong basis for that, no? So, if mula pa siya ang value, okay, so meaning more than katong ano nat kani siya nahimo siyang 123. So 97 plus the value 123. So which is mula pa siya to Z, atong buhaton is minus na nato siya by 26 para mobalik siya sa A. So this time atong i-convert into character ang alpha value. So if dili siya, sorry, alpha. Mang alpha value, hindi man ni mabasa. Alpha value. Okay, yan. So if dili siya mosulod diri, meaning wala siya nagsobra. If nagsulod siya diri, meaning nagsobra siya, ma-change ang value sa alpha value. Mubalik siya by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what causes the error here? Yeah, because of this one, plain something. Sir, pwede na ba wala ning modulus 226? It seems like pwede naman, sir, di ba? Pwede na wala. Pwede na, sige, try na to na later on. Okay. So, there, try na to ning alpha value. Tanaw na to if ang encrypt na to na, what is this? Encrypt lang, no? So, encrypt, let's say, X, yan, Johnny na lang with 4. So, using the encrypt, dapat di na siya mulapas. So, let's try. So, NSLRC. So, we don't care for Jan, atong i-care karon ang Y, giunsa niya nganong nahimo siyang C. So, awa na atong i-concern karon nganong nahimo siyang C. Okay? So, basically, this is what it does. So, atong code is, or ato ang, ano is Johnny. Okay? And then, kanila atong kwaon si Y. Kay, okay naman nandyan. Okay? Behave man na sila. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that, kani si Jan kay swak man siya sa A to Z. Kaning Y atong kuanon. Capture. So, ang if ang ASCII code sa Z is 122, therefore ang ASCII code sa Y is pila? 121. Tama? No? Okay, do you follow? Guys?
121 ba,
So,
sir?
Yes, sir.
120.
Dili,
Kay
126.
122, ha? Dili 1,
22.
122 man ang Z. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
122 man ang Z.
123 ang murag curly bracket din. Z.
Oo. 122 ang Z, 123 ang opening
Tama, Day, sir.
curly braces, 121 therefore ang Y. Kung tama akong math ha, kung tama among math sa high school.
Tama, sir.
Okay. So, tama atong math. Okay, this time ang buhaton would be dire sa plain text na Y or dire na ta diretso. Nato ni sa baba na lang. Para masabtan lang, no? So, actually, pwede na good dili na i-ano, pero sige lang para masabtan yun sa mga bata. So, you have here, the value of alpha value is CH, which is, ang value ni CH nato is, ang ASCII code sa Y is 121 plus, okay, ang value ni key, which is modulus 2, 26, which is, unsay key na to? 4. So, always 4 siya. Yan, always 4 kasi 4 divided by 26 is liba 0, and then 26 yeah, 20 tama ba? 4 divided by 26 is 4. Ang remainder niya, ang remainder kay 26 times 0 is 0, 4 minus 0 is 4. Nakuha, naklaro na ana kay modulus man na remainder. Okay? So therefore ang value ani is 120 25, tama? Okay? So kung 125 na, okay, kung 125 siya, more than siya sa Z, which is ang ano na is 125 greater ba daw kay 122? True ba or false? True. Am I right? So
Yes, sir.
yeah, tama. Okay. So therefore, mag-minus ta og 125 minus 26, which is pila yung result ani?
99.
125 minus
99.
99, sir. 99.
99. So 97 is A. So if 97 is A, atong nakita ganina, so morning medyo kaya siya medyo libog no kasi ASCII code atong inasahan. If A is 97, then B is 98, then therefore C is actually 99. So therefore mobalik siya to C. Dili na siya other characters. So that's what happened in our program. So only in the Y na part ang mag-true ni siya dire. So after that, ma-change ang value ni alpha value by 99. So once pag-convert na niya into character, instead of katong other character siya, so ang mahitabo is katong 99 which is equivalent ana is C. Mao nang pag-run sa imong program. So pag-run sa imong program right here, so that's why it's C. So you can apply that the same, no? I mean, you can apply that the same thing in your program here, no? Dire pwede niyo na i-apply siya dire by kani siya. Yeah, so you can actually do this right here. So di ba pag run niyo sa program na ay mga kanio, na ay mga special characters dira. So pwede nato na siya i-change, sorry. Pwede nato na i-change ang encryption here. Okay? While sa loop, wait. Kuhaon na lang nato ning loop. Okay, nanamday tayo loop, no? So ato na lang siyang kuhaon dire. Okay, para dili malibog, i-erase nato ning mga value, something like this one. Okay. And then, pwede ra mo diretso CH without alpha val na. So, pwede ra diretso CH, no? There's nothing wrong with that. So, meaning, instead of kanila yung kwaon diri ibutang diri sa plain text, then CH. Ayan. So, remove this one. And then, kaya lang, you will need to convert this into an integer value. Okay? Kasi ano man na siya. And then, if ang CH is more than Z, and then the value of CH will be subtracted by the 26, and then CH imong ibutang dire. Okay? So, let's try. So, there you are. Wala na tong special characters. Ayan. You can also do the same for, okay, so pwede na po mo na i-copy right here. And then, so let's run the program. And then run it here. So there, no? Nawala na ang mga special characters. Okay? So sir, katong question ako ganina, sir, pwede ba sir na wala na lang ning like oo, katong modulus blah blah blah. Okay, what happen if wala na to siya? So what happen kung wala na? Unsay nahitabo? Nganong need? Okay, kamo ako. Mag-ask ko sa inyo question. Why is it need to include that one? So, 'di ba, why is it needed na kailangan siya i-modulus by 26 na to? Ngano?
A to Z man ang
Like, instead of, answer, diretso lang key, sir. Hindi na mag-modulus. Pwede ba na? Okay. So, kung napansin niyo, is it allowed na wala na i-modulus by 26, sir, regardless of, kasi always ang value man ana, sir, kahit 20, always ang value sa key is bisan i-modulus nimo by 26 key man gihapon. Okay. Yes, pwede. Okay? But did you know, to be safe, okay? Pwede ra wala, but to be safe, pwede ra mas okay kung butangan niyo siya og modulus to 26 just to make sure na ang key is ano ba, ano niya ang remainder value. Pero again, pwede ra gyapon wala. Okay? But pwede ra gyapon wala. Do you follow nganong naa siya modulus 26 or pwede ra nganong walay modulus to 26? Kasi regardless of kung ang key nimo is, kung ang C nimo ang key ani man gud siya, kung ang key nimo is 7, i-divide nimo na siya by 26 or dili nimo i-divide, kwaon nimo ang modulus ana. So kung kwaon nimo ang modulus niya sa 7, it's always 7. Okay? So meaning bisan dili nimo na siya i-kwaon ang modulus, it's always 7. Okay? So kaya nalay instances na inani man god. If ang imuhang key is, what if imong key is, ani lang ang instances, what if imong key is 120, 129? What will happen kung ang imuhang key is 129? Kaya may tabo kung 129. So, usay buhaton sa imong program karon. So kung wala ka nag-modulus, did you know that imong program would do a lot of looping, I mean a lot of shifting, no? Kasi it will do shifting as much as 129. So 129 times siya mag-shift. So that is one thing that we avoid or prevent from happening. So kaya nagabutang ta og modulus to 26 para, okay, para this will be converted into, if kwaw na to ang modulus ana niya to 26, pila yung result ani? Pila yung result? Hello? multiply result. It multiply nato na siya. I-divide nato siya y. Okay, ang mahitabuan na is 129 divided by 26. So, wait. So you have here 26 times 4 at 26 times 5 kay 130 man. So 26 times 4 is 104. So 129 minus 104. So ato ang value ano is 25. So at least dili siya 129 mo shift. Nakuha class. So ang shift niya is 25 lang instead of 129. Do you understand? Wala. Di ba? Na A, B, C, D, E, F until Z. So kung 129, wala ka nagbutang og modulus as in example inana. So ang shifting niya is 129. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For every character, let's say J, B, C, D, F, F, G, H, I, J. So si J is mo-shift siya 129. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 129 ka shifting na. 129 ka pag-shift niya per character. Okay? So kapoy kay na what if daghan kay ka og characters imong plain text. So the reason why nagutang ta og modulus is that when there is modulus, kung molapas na siya sa 26 imuhang key. Okay? So let's say 129 meaning nilapas na sa 26 na key. Okay, mo ni imong key ha 129. As in dili na ASCII code 129 as in 129 ang shift niya. So gi-modulus nato siya by 26 para paano na to ang remainder niya because 26 lang dapat ang iyahang shift, ang iyahang pag-shift. So dili siya pwede na mulapas sa with 26. So with that, naka-save ta og pila. Remember, that's 129 versus 25. So this time ang shift niya is at least 25 versus 129. Nakuha class?
Medyo
128, sir.
Kung 128, so 128 is still more than 26. Diba?
sir. Sir, nakipunta na sir. Basin wala lang ako na-catch sir ba? Asa fix na ba dyan ng 26 sir? Module of 6, 26.
Yes, kasi ato ang alphabet kay 26 man ato ang gi-follow. 8
Yes.
to Z man. So meaning within that range lang ang pagtuyok, ang pag-shift ba within that range. Kung mulapas or beyond that, dapat mo balik siya sa kuan. Example ang key nato sige. Yun ang actually pwede ra god no algorithm, depende man sa algorithm. Example lang ha, ang key nato would be so i-display na ko diri ang itatag isa ka encrypt process. So ang key nato is 129. Ang galon nato ning ayan, key diretso. So mao na siya ang nahitabo kanilapas tag 129. Kay ang key nato is ang key nato is 129 meaning nilapas na siya sa 26 nga alphabets. Okay? So that is why as a key dapat ma-maintain niya ang property na ang iyahang key will always fall down to the range numbers or range values from 1 to 26. Dili siya pwede mulapas kasi musubang, asa na siya? Sa Bisaya pa ba mo ano siya other characters? Kasi imagine 26 lang kutob ang alphabets. Nya imong key is more than 26. So mulapas pod imong key og labay sa mga characters. Okay, so let's say for an instance atong butangan og 1 og modulus to 26. So no matter how big is your character, your key, no matter how how much it is, more than 1,000 pa na, more than 1,000,000 pa na, 100,000 pila pa na value ana, it will always go back to what? 1 to 26 ang value. So ang range niya will always be in between 1 and 26. Kana lang ayahang value na tuyukan. That's why nagmodulus ta. Wa pa jud nakuha? Kuha na, wala pa. Pa jud. Are you guys there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wala gyapon.
Lisod pagsabot, sir. Lisod ang answer.
Ani na lang siya. Pila ka buok alphabets atong gi-model karon? Pila ka buok letters? 26.
26.
Okay. 26. Okay. So, 26. Ang key nato pag mag-enter ang user og pag mag-enter ang user og 27, unya A ang imong first character. Mo shift siya og 27, asa siya padulong? So A B C D E F G A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R X T U V Z. So 27 man. So mo lapas siya isa, tama?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, mula pa siya isa. So therefore, ang katong character na ma-visit niya pag shift, dili na to within the alphabet kasi more than 26 naman.
Kaya na siya ng
Okay?
mga characters, sir.
Yes. Lahi na ka nga character kato ng brace, kato ng curly open brace. So karon,
Ayun ang mubalik siya pa A, sir.
Pag apel lang, sir. Balik siya kay pag 27 or
Ay, mo balik siya, sir, pagkatong i-minus nimo siya sa 26.
lahi pod na siya ang pag minus dire. Lahi pod ni siya.
ASCII code man.
Oh, kani manggod is i-maintain niya na ang iyahang shift is no matter how big, no matter how large the number is, mubalik siya within 1 and 26. Okay? Example example imuhang key is sige lang, ang imong key ni abot og di ba dapat ang key nimo dapat nara sa 1 and 26, tama? Di
Yes,
ba
sir.
mao man yun ang dapat ni masabtan? Okay? Nara sa 1 and 26. Now what if ang key na gi-enter sa user is 28? So if ang key sa imong user ni abot og 128, you have either the option or the algorithm na pag more than ang key nimo, pwede na pud ka mag-ano na pud ka kuan. Mag if condition na pud ka na if ang key nimo is more than 26, so mag-minus na pud ka. Murag inana gay ang dating. So instead of doing that, kung gusto mo in ato, you can actually do that. Na if more than ang key sa imong 26, mobalik kag 1 or mag-i-minus sa nimong 28 by minus 26, which is 28 minus 26 2. So dapat ang kwaon ang ano ato is B. Ang key niya ato is 2. Pero the question there is tama ba na 2 ang key? Tama ba na 2 ang key? No? Tama ba na 2 ang key ato? So meaning every mag-shift siya instead na 28, 2 lang ang iyang i-shift. Dili na 20, dili na 28. So what I'm trying to say here is nalibog na noon sila. So kung 28 siya, okay? So kung 28 siya, i-modulus nimo na siya by 26. Ang result ani di ba 2? Tama?
Yes, sir.
So without if condition, makapture nimo na ang iyahang value is between 1 and 26. Kung di man gud ka mag-inani, probably imong buhaton diri is mag-ana na pud ka if key, so nana po kay if condition. If key is more than 1 or if key is less than or equal to 1 and and or the I or key is greater than 20 26, which is dapat ang imuhang value sa key is within 1 and 26. So imong buhaton is key equals 26 minus or 20 key minus 26. So instead of dungag patag inani na algorithm, atuan na lang siyang gibuhat is gimodulus nato siya by 26 para kwaon niya ang remainder ana.
Doble-doble ra
Ay.
pagka.
Yes, nagdoble ra kag if condition. So you have that option. Walay problema kung inana imong option. Okay? Walay problema kung inana imong option. Again. Walay problema kung inana imong algo, it's not a problem. It's okay. Wala na siya problema. But if you can make it a smarter one, if you can make it na dili na siya maghimo og logical statement or dili na siya maghimo condition, while not use formula based na lang na algorithm in such a way that anyway pareha lang mag-result. What is this formula is going to do is that no matter how large, how big is your key, it will always go back to 1 and 26. I-try ra guna ninyo bisan pag 1 million na inyuhang, bisan pag ang inyuhang key is, did you know that bisan using this formula i-modulus nimo by 26, bisan pag imong key is 150, mubalik gyap if imuha ng kuanan og modulus to 26, mubalik lang gyap na siya by 1 and 26. So meaning naara sa 1 and 26 ang value ana niya. So try niyo kuha ang value ni 26. So that is 26, let's say 26 times nasa 8 siguro na. Sobra. 26 times, let's say 6, 26 times 5 is 130. Okay? So 130 na siya, no? So 150 minus 130 is actually 20. So mao na imong key. Mao na imong key. Your key now is 20. If ang key na gi-input sa user is 150, gi-convert lang nato siya na mahimong 20 kay regardless of ang nahitaboan na is gi-shift nimo nga nag-shift ka from your character na 150 times kasi balik-balik. Sige, 26 imagine na let's say 150 imong key. So sa imong program kung 150 imong key, ang gibuhat na niya is ato siya A to Z tapos ato na po siya balik sa A to Z ana ba mubalik-balik ra siya. So why not kwaon lang nato iyahang modulus ang remainder, no, by remainder of 26 of that value para it will always go back to 1 and 26. So kung di pa jud na inyo makuha sige i-review na lagbalik ninyo ning atong tutorial para makuha masinay makuha ninyo na. So kung karon di jud nyo makuha sige wala na tay mahimo. Yes, naay question. Wait for a while. Wala man day. Yes, hinubyagon. Saman. Hinubyagon?
Wala na.
Wala day. So wag gihapon nyo nakuha. Wala jud. As in
Wala.
zero, wala nyo na. Maunon.
Kalinturahan
Okay.
sa mo, sir.
Kalinturahan kong samot sa inyo ha. Unsaon man pagpasabot? Sige, direta sa sige, pasabton ta mo para dili mo mawala. Direta sa wala man gud koy pen tab, wala man gud koy marker, dili ko kasulat sige kani, no? Example, let's say atong plain text is regardless of unsa atong plain text A B C D and then atong key is let's say atong key is 128. Okay? So atong key is 128. Pila lang gani dapat ka shift dire, taman? Ang allowed na shift is pila?
122? Ay,
Yeah. Amin ang shift na to is 26 lang. Kay mao man na ang value sa ato ang alphabet, tama?
26, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oo.
Yes,
26.
sir.
Very good. Karon ang key na gihatag sa user is 128 man. So what do you expect for your program to do? Alangan man A. Kung A iyahang character na first is shift using 128, so iyang buhaton is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now karon mulapas pa siya 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Bisan pag ipatuyok nimo nagbalik, mobalik siya sa A, pila na to 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Hantod balikon na po niya hantod mahuman yang 128. And remember nagatuyok lang siya sa same alphabet. Tama?
Sir.
So meaning ang 26 na shift nimo is daghanon nimo siya tuyok-tuyok dire para makumpleto nimong 128. Nakuha ninyo na?
Sir.
Oh, inato siya. So meaning ang buhaton nimo sa 128 kung imong program, ang nahitabo karon so A manino, A 1, 2, so 26, tapos 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 6, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So 52 siya. Pila na pod? Balik na pod ka. 52 plus 26 pila na? 80.
78.
Ha?
28.
50, 78. Okay?
78.
So 78 plus 26, pila na po na?
104.
104. 104 plus 26. 130.
130.
130.
1,
Sarado.
130. So 130 plus 26.
156.
156.
Ay, wala na. Nalapas na data.
Papas na, sir.
Nalapas na ta kay 120.
Pero saan?
Nalapas na ta ka 1. So probably nara mag-ana nimo blah 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 nagtuyok to siya 1 pila lang ito 130 asa ito nag-stop ta 104 no
Yes, sir.
104 so kung 104 na ni siya dire therefore 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 18 19 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 so x lang day ihang gipangita nya inato na kadaghan ihang shifting
Pila
so
naman.
ang value day ana niya is x pero gikapoy nimong maayo imong compiler, imong gikapoy nimong maayo imong RAM. So what if, okay, ato ang gibuhat is gi-divide nato ang okay, kuhaon na to ang modulus ana ni kuhaon na to ang remainder ni 128. 128 modulus to 26. Pila man na? Pila man na siya? So 26 times 4 no?
Yes, sir.
Tama? Oo.
Yes, sir.
So ang 26 times 4 kay 26 times 5
130.
130 naman. So mulapas naman. So 26
104.
times 4
24 na
is
sir.
104.
actually
24.
okay, basta ang result ana is 128 minus 104 which is pila ni siya ang result?
24, sir. 24, sir.
24. So ihapon ni 124 1 2 3 4 5 asa ka dapit mo adto?
4x.
O x lang gyapon. So asa ka mas naka-save? Sa katong nagtuyok-tuyok kag kadaghan?
Sa module,
Or
sir.
okay, very good. Nakuha.
Nangita lang lisod.
Wala, sir.
Oo, naka.
Ana. Nakuha na. So mao nang
Yes.
nagka-modulus by 26 na. So mao nang there are actually a lot of techniques or strategies. It depends on you na kung saan mo na pag-answer or pag-provide og solution. If you can,
Sir.
di ba remember nag-discuss ta about time and space complexity, asa ka mas naka-save og time and space. Syempre diri sa modulus compare sa kani. Yeah, unsa may other question mo?
Sir, balik ta sa 26 letters, sir. Nay instances sir nga kung tay anggi naay apil kama tuldok same 26 ba gyapon ang modulo ana?
Okay. If ever na very good question, no? If in case imong plain text is
Landa sa bal, tapos
Ja
kama.
oh,
May kama.
ana, Johnny, I love you 14344 tuldok in ana. So karon, it's your option now. Okay, it's your option now whether to encrypt the values of tuldok into this one. Anyway, kay naman na sila mga separate character, naman na sila mga corresponding ASCII code. So ma-convert yun na siya into other character. Okay? So pwede nimo na siya i-appeal og encrypt. Pwede ra pod nimo na siya i-leave as it is. So how do you do that if you plan na inana siya? Actually, that's my activity for you na dapat i-read niya. So anyway, if in case na inana maghimo jud og mga if condition ana na if actually ang condition pwede na condition na ana is if diri ta sa katong character lang. Dire o dire. So naay mga condition na if ang CH or ang character ninyo is, let's say, if ang character is, let's say, pag numbers greater than or equal to 0 and CH is less than or equal to 9. So, i-ano lang nimo as it is na ang CH is, CH nimo would have the value as CH. Mura ginana god na i-as is nimo na if ang value is within 0 and 9, ang CH nimo is i-retain niya ang value na 0 and 9, meaning dili niya i-convert, dili niya i-encrypt. Okay? The question lang there is, what if special characters? Kana ang problem, no? What if special characters? So, ang akong condition ana nga ginagamit is if CH is less than or equal to A or CH is greater than or equal to Z. Okay, kani ako ang yan na-solve na noon yung activity. So in ani siya meaning ang value is within A to Z lang siya. So dili pwede na other special characters. Okay? Pag na maka-recognize siya og tutuldok, special characters dili na siya i-appeal og convert. Dili siya appeal og encrypt. So meaning to say if naka-encounter siya og unsa to ato ang if naka-encounter siya og let's say 14344, is it in between A to Z? No. So if dili siya in between A to Z, it as is nimo siya na number. If dili tuldok, is tuldok in between A and Z? No. So as is na nimo siya as tuldok. So meaning pag decrypt nimo ana, tuldok lang gihapon siya. Ang mausab lang nimo ani is kaning mga characters na Johnny, I love you. So hint na ha, this is actually your activity. Oh, this is actually your activity.
Diretso na ang number o ang numeric.
Yes.
Special character.
Oo. Ang alphabet lang ang iyahang i-convert. Ang alphabet lang iyahang i-encrypt, kumbaga. So pag maka-recognize niyan sa character nimo na special characters or any other characters numbers, murag take it as it is, parang default. Okay? Automatic. Pero kung gusto ka na i-appeal mo ni convert kani siya naman ni say mga sarili niyang ASCII code. Mo hatag yun na siya og other ASCII code nimo. Pero kana lang no medyo imong user imong tig-decrypt basin mabuang nag-decrypt ana no kay mo siya kung sa may special characters mabuang na siya decrypt so it could be dili jud ma-read imong i-decrypt but it's okay kasi the very reason nga nung naghimo tag encryption is because para the people will be having difficulty in decrypting it no anyway mao na ang pinaka reason nga nung himo tag inani na gi-apply nato ni siya na data structuring. So just so you could imagine if ever unsa man inyong gamiton na algo but that is one way of parang hint lang na if para at least within the ano lang ako kasi mas okay kung bahalag ang encrypt niya is mga letters or alphabets, walay labot ang numbers. Anyway, di naman kay na siya di naman kay ni ano ang mga numbers or di ba di man jud nimo ni siya i-appeal as Kung i-appeal nimo na siya sa imong letter, period is a period. Exclamation is exclamation. Ampersand is ampersand. Tama ba? Tama ba akong pagkasabot? So, take it, kumbaga, you can take it as it is. If it is a number, then it is a number. If it is a period, then it is a period. Okay? So, pag alphabet siya, alphabet yun siya. Kaya i-convert na to siya into an equivalent alphabet. So, good question because you raised that kind of question. So, this time, pwede na to din siya i-try. Okay, i-try na to sa, wait for a while ha. Ako na lang ni is in-ana para namoy guide. So, di na ko i-ano, saon ninyo na. Mag-if ba mo, if else ba, or puro single if. Okay, pero inana ang hint. Okay, so, i-run na to siya. So, there you are. Tanawa siya. INN 9, H9,
Mga lahi ng character.
AN9. Lain na mga lahi nga characters. So, kana, maglisod, ikaw daw shift og, let's say, ikaw daw shift og tutuldok. Saan ang tutuldok? Na dapit na part sa alphabet. So, maglisod, alangan na ano lang ka, like, that is exclamation point di ay. No? I mean, kung manual siya pag decrypt ba, could you think na ma-decrypt yun sa imuhang sa person? What if love letter na? Love letter niya, 14344 day pasabot ato, tapos gipa-decrypt nimo sa iya ha. Instead na magkadayon mo, dili na lang noon kay wa man niya na decrypt, wa man niya na wa man niya nakuha imong real message kay pag run nimo sa imong pag tan-aw niya pag encrypt nga ano man ni unsa ning tutuldok manidapit asa man ko magsubay ani sa alphabet. So di ba? That makes sense. But again, if naka-program siya, nakay concrete na algo for that, okay siya, no problem. Kasi that's something na advantage kasi your hacker now could have or would have a difficulty in decrypting it kasi samot siya kalibog unsa na ng mga values, no? So but if katong sa manual na pagka-decrypt, dili jud siya possible. So it depends on you, no? So nana sa inyo ha. As much as I do, akong ginabuhat ana is kato yung mga alphabet lang ako ang gina-decrypt. Okay? Or gina-encrypt rather para mas dali ang encryption. But again, you have the option, you have all options in the world kung saon ninyo na siya pag-handle. Okay? So that is for encrypt. So ang decrypt is, ato na lang pong i-decrypt. Sir, pwede ba ang decrypt, sir? Kay dali laman siguro ang decrypt, sir, di ba? If kabalo ka sa plain text, dali lang i-decrypt. Kung kabalo ka sa plain text, tama? Tama, class, nakuha ninyo. Kung kabalo ka sa plain text, actually, kung kabalo ka sa plain text, ang decrypt is, ibalik lang man nimo sa plain text, di ba? Ana, kung kabalo ka sa plain text niya, what if kabalo sa plain text? Okay? Do you get what I Do you follow what
Dili kang ibutang sa
nag-follow?
plain text.
What if dili ikaw ang nagbutang sa plain text? 'Di ba? What if ang naa sa imo is ciphertext lang? So syempre wala ka idea unsa ang plain text. So that is the time na i-decrypt nimo ang message. So kani kay syempre gitest man nato kita nakabalo to sa plain text at the same time, syempre kapag pagbalik ana mas dali siya kung i-decrypt o ano lang god I mean ba what I'm trying to say here is that kung mag-decrypt ka sa given na plain text, if kabalo ka sa plain text, it would be easier for you to identify the plain text kasi you can just call the plain text directly. But what if wala ka kabalo sa plain text, ang na-receive nimo ciphertext. Unsay sense nga ipa-decrypt sa imuha nakabalok wherein kabalo ka sa plain text. Do you follow? Like say for an instance, gipadala kag sulat, niya nakabalo ka sa plain text. Dapat ang ma-receive nimo katulang ciphertext. So dili pwede na sa program nimo diretso call ka og plain text. Okay? So Oh, mao nang kailangan na jud kay decrypt na process. So how do you do that is kailangan nimo og algo for that. Dili lang simple na tawagon natong plain text. So the same thing ang imong buhaton is i-return sa nato ni. So this time dili nato assuming na wala ta kabalo sa plain text, so therefore kailangan nato og variable no na mo hold ana, let's say. So ato lang i-value returning. So ato ang ibutang diri is ciphertext tama, no? So sige, assuming na atong nahibal-an lang is ciphertext. So kwaon na to ang per character sa ciphertext and then the same gihapon na siya. Okay? Kaya lang ang imong buhaton diri is pabaliktad pud ka, okay? Asa naman to atong ano. So pag mag-decrypt ka, pabaliktad pud ang imuhang pagbaliktad pud imong process. Example 4. So using your kaning alphabet N, so baliktad pud ka N, so shift back pud ka. So ML4J. So that's J. So sa S R Q P O. So O. And then sunod H L K J I H. So H. And then sa N M L K J. Sa ito R D I R. So Q P O N. So mao nang NSLR. So I mean mao nang diyan gibalik ka no moving ano po ka backward. So that's for what they call this one. So ang ano ani is if malapas kag A, so another character na siya, mao nang dapat okay, what we will do is maghimo na pud ka og another condition na if malapas siya og A, mag-shift back, then magdungag mag +26 ka instead of mag-minus. Kasi kung nilapas kag N +26 ka, balik siya sa A to Z. So that's it. Example ha, example. So i-decrypt nato ang so ito Johnny to no, so Johnny. So example lang, gi-encrypt nato ang Johnny. And then ang encrypt sa Johnny is INMX dili ta 129 di kay let's say 4. Sige. Ibalik na to. So we have 4. So mao ni ang encrypt niya and then i-decrypt daw nato si Johnny. So we have cesar sa ito cesar 1 cesar dot decrypt. So this time ang gi-decrypt nato si Cesar with ang ciphertext nato is saan nato ni pag-set sa ciphertext. So dapat naatay set ciphertext na transformer asa man to dapit. So wala di ay tay set ciphertext. So dapat set cipher. Example kana no. So mag-set ciphertext ta for Cesar, cesar.set ciphertext. So atong ciphertext is kana. And then ato ang key is cesar dot set key. Example, ang key gihatag sa tua sa tao nga nagpa-decrypt sa tua, nagpa-decrypt sa to is 4 iyang giingon, iyang hint. So i-decrypt na nato, tanaw na to if mabalik na siya into Jan. So this is what you have received. Katong wala ka naka-receive og plain text, of course, ciphertext imo na receive nin ana. And then para ma-decrypt nimo siya kay gitagaan pud kag key at the same time. So when we run this one, what happened? Wait lang. Cesar cipher ama tong decrypt na to. This one. So okay, hold nganong na ano man ni. Dapat hold ni siya. Okay? So balik ta. Ato asaning so wa ta kabalo sa mga sorry. Ana. Okay? And then ay nganong gi-appeal man ako. So di na nato ano na to, mao lang ni nadawat example as the receiver mao ni atong nadawat na ciphertext NSLRC. It's for us to determine kung unsa jud ning message daw niya para sa kuha. And then gitagaan ko niya key. So let's say ang key is 4. Okay, pwede daw kanang hint lang daw niya at nakuha daw na na-capture nato na ang key is 4 ang gihatag. So pag run nato ani oh, mali di ba? Oh, mali. Check na to. Ay, don't you worry. Kay nara na diri. Ato. Kasi ciphertext is i-capture sa nato diri. Set check sa nato ha. Cesar.decrypt string manino. Decrypt, return, hold, wait. Ciphertext, tapos capture, wait. And then,
Greater. Ciphertext.
wait, ang ciphertext nato is, wait lang. Ang NSLRC, mao ni ato ang ciphertext. Tapos, ang value sa ato ang ciphertext karon i-check sa nato. Wait. Kung i-read nato kung tama ba ang nabasa. Cesar.getCiphertext. So, NSLRC. So, tama. Okay? Ang key na to, ipagawas po na to ang key para mahibala na to kung key cesar.getKey. Kung 4 ba jud? Dili mao. So, 4. So, tama siya. So, tama siya na key na to is 4 at the same time NSLRC. So, karon ang mahitabo is, ato na ta sa decrypt. There's something wrong with our decrypt. So, what happened here is that, sige daw, sige, let's do it together na what happened. So, NLR, wait, sige for a while.
Index, sir. Kuha na siya. Greater than.
Asa ka ni?
Apo.
Dapit. Less than man na. Oo. So, N. So, first character na mabasa, N. Tapos, okay. Don't mind with this one. And then, here, if, so,
Dili ba siya balik sa Z, sir?
pardon?
CH is less than Z? O A dyan na siya, sir?
Unsa?
If, nasa if, sir.
Oo, nga naman.
Dili ba siya Z, sir? CH.
Z. Pabaliktad man ta. Remember, pabaliktad ta, di ba? So, pabalik ta. So,
From CH.
pabalik ta going to A. So, meaning, pabalik ta A. So, kung mula pa siya og A, dapat mag-plus siya by 26. Kay kung paadto tag Z, mag-minus man siya by 26. Okay? So, naalantay, wait lang. Decrypt. What happened here?
Nga nang 4 tong key, sir. Kung NSLRC.
Unsa?
Katong key, sir. 4. Di ba?
4 man
sir.
atong
4 man natin gamit pang ano, di ba?
4
So,
man.
kuha na sa John C.
Sa daw?
Dili makapture si Y, sir.
Ang 4 manggot is nag-shift pa ka pa-move depende po sa input.
Tama.
Ang giran lang man gud nato ni ganina. Like ang pag-run nato ani ganina pag encrypt, mao na ni ang ciphertext. Okay, mao na ning decrypted na text. encrypted na text.
Dapat dyan
Tapos
ang
para ma-decrypt nato ni siya, mabalik siya into Jan. Imagine wala daw ta kabalo na Jani ni siya. Wa ta kabalo na Jani ni siya. Ang problem lang with this is nganong dili siya ma-decrypt. So, let's say N, first i-read ang N. So, kwaon niya ang, sige lang, don't worry. Kwaon niya ang ASCII code sa N. Sige, tabangi ko unsay ASCII code sa N.
sir.
ASCII code sa N. Kila ASCII code sa N.
Lowercase na, sir.
Ha? Naunsa man dayta class nga nag plus man ta dapat mag minus. Okay. Sige, dara nakita na nako kung wala ko ni anhi dire. Oh, mao ning ka problem kung mag copy paste ta no.
Ano to, sir?
O nagka
Minus key.
alangan nag-plus man ta so pabalik pa ana gyapon siya di ba? Unsa gyapon siya pa oh. So wait i-rant na to then explain nako later on. Sige de
Ayun.
Johnny. Oh, nag-copy paste manggod ta, nakalimot ko, nag-copy paste data, wala pod mo nang ingon. Di ba gi-copy paste man din nato ni ganina from Encrypt.
Yes, sir.
Tapos tungod sa excitement nakalimot ta og baliktad. Remember ato ang gibuhat diri ganina is pabalik ta and then pabalik lagi ta diri sa pag-encrypt, nag-assume ta na pabalik pud ta going backward. So may na lang pag trace na ako diri mo tong wa na ko ni continue, it's because pagtanaw nako pagtanaw nako diri nag-plus gihapon siya. So meaning n balik na pud siya n OPQRS. So mo tong ang result kay pabalik pa NOPQRS instead of minus siya n mobalik siya. So mo to ang problem. Nakuha?
Yes, sir.
So mo na problem nganong dili jud anong careful ta sa copy paste technology no. So mo na nagkalisod-lisod pa tag trace tapos only to find out wala day nato na update ang kaning negative sign. I mean, syempre mag minus ta kay mobalik man ta going backward. Okay, sige. Nakuha? Okay, so that's yes. Kuha, wala.
Kuha na, sir.
Okay, good. So, yes, the good question ko ron is, sir, nganong asa na mo ni siya pwede ma-apply? Like, remember in today's generation, no, kailangan ang security measure na to is really that hard or difficult to intrude or to kasi mga data vulnerable jud na siya from intrusion or kanang ma-access. So isa sa mga ways that I actually allow my students to apply this one is okay in pwede naton i-apply sa atong 2543 pohon if mag-abot na ta sa database management system. Actually, ang database has the capability to do table locking, column locking, if na mo idea sa database, as well as tanan password nato if maggamit ta og hash na encryption sa database. Okay? If in aning do you guys have idea of database na wala pa? Wala pa no?
Wala pa.
Inani man gud nang mahitabo sa database class. Sa database para para masabtan example nag-sign up ka no, nag-sign up, okay? Pag sign up nimo di ba normally naa siya ihatag sa imuha na or mag-input kag username and then mag-input pud ka og password. Oo. So example lang ha, username and password ang username and password gipangayo sa imuha. And then ang imuhang username is let's say user and then imong password is ani. Okay? Pag wala nimo ni gi-hash, pag wala nimo ni gi-hash tapos imong database wala nimo gibutang password. Okay? Pag store ani dito sa database, sa imong database, Johnny jud na siya. And then ang kani pong isa user. So if ever na ma-access imong database, makita dito ang mga password na nakabutang user and Johnny at the same time. So this is what you type, this is what this is what it is stored in your database. So this is also what the user will see if ever na na-hack iyong database. So karon bisan pag sa imuhang UI kay gi-hide kunuhay nimo tong password na instead of kuan mag-type kag J kay ani ang mo display, di ba? Ana man jud na ako mag-type kag password, tama? Tama no?
Yes, sir.
Or something like katong ellipse. So pero pag abot ato sa database, ang ma-store ato dili katong asterisk, ang ma-store ato kani unless nag-hash ka. So nag-hash nimo imong password, pag abot dito sa imong database kung ma-open to siya, naka-hash key to siya, meaning daghan kay characters na combination of characters na ibutang dito. So meaning bisan ma-hack pa to dili ang imong password dito is naunsan secured kayo. Pero if what if in case lang na wala na kibuhat sa wala na nimo kibuhat sa imong database. So normal lang na username and password nakatago sa pag-sign up nimo og password pero pag abot dito sa database Johnny lang gihapon ang nakabutang dito. So if that's the case na hack imuhang database, kit-an dito imong username and password, pwede nako gamiton ang imuhang account and then let's say mag-perform ko og whatever na mga transactions sa what if admin ni. So karon i-perform nako nga himuon na kong zero tanan balance sa students, himuon na kong zero balance tanan sa ako ang depositor mga ana. So, pwede na ko anytime, anything na pwede ninyo ma-imagine na unsay mahitabo sa data is going to be compromised with that. So, karon pwede na isa sa strategy na or technique na akong ginapabuhat sa user although I mean for my programmers is bahala na ning username na makita as user pero ang Johnny pwede na nimo pag-store sa so instead na Johnny siya pag type nimo Johnny nakatago with masking na character na asterisk pero pag store sa database pwede na kadtong kani ang ato ang i-store dito sa database. So at least pag ma-hack imuhang database, pag tanaw niya, yay, yung password NSLRC. Pero the next time na mag-log or the next whenever the hacker is going to use this account na user and SLRC, dili jud niya siya kasulod. Why? Because nganong NSLRC user and NSLRC maning anong unsa man na no I mean wala jud siya idea unsaon na niya pag-hack karon ang password which is dapat Johnny. So ang naka-store sa imuha ang imong gi-type Johnny and kabalo ka na imong password Johnny pero pag na-store sa database kay nag cesar encryption daw ka with 4 key. So kung gi-program na siya nga tanan i-type sa user na sa password is ang shift niya is 4 and then whatever character imong i-type dito i-shift niya into 4 characters sa using alphabet kay sa ciphertext mabutang jud na siya into any other characters. Now karon paano na mahimong paano i-program na pod na kailangan ma-capture niya ang Johnny. So kung mag-type kog Johnny kaning NSLRC i-decrypt na pod nimo using the shift 4 na key. So this time pag convert ana nimo into yes naka-program ha, I mean naka-program imo na siyang i-program sa imong programming. Secure siya in such a way na ang kani is i-convert niya, i-decrypt sa niya into other i-decrypt sa niya ning value, mahimo siyang Johnny and then bago niya i-compare sa katong i-types ni user. So yeah, ato na siyang i-apply pohon sa ato ang himuon na ano sa database. But for now that is what I can give you as an information. Diha na pwede na to magamit ang kaning mga encryption process. Okay? Sige. So, let's go to another encryption. So for this, I'm going to give you another encryption, but this time I'm not gonna be programming. You'll be the one to do it for yourself. So the next encryption that I'm going to give to you is the Vignier Cipher encryption. So in the Vignier Cipher encryption, so Vignier in Cipher encryption uses Vignier table. And this is the Vignier table. Giunsa paghimo ang Vignier table? Ang Vignier table is gamit yapon ang alphabets like A, B, C, D, Z, tapos B, C, D. Mo shift siya 1 per letter, then imuhang i-ano tanan ang alphabets. So ana ang shifting niya is A, B, C, D to Z, tapos at from humana ka sa A, B na pud ka, after sa B nag-start kag B, C na pud ka, and then sunod D, E, F, and then E, F, G, H, I, F, G, H, I, something something like that. So why? Nganong na ay another encryption? Kasi sa Cesar Ciphertext, example lang ha, imuhang imuhang plain text is, let's say, ang imong plain text is, let's say we have, okay, example lang, imong plain text is college. So karon pila ka buok imuhang pila ang characters na L ni nag-appear, pila ang E nag-appear. I mean, pila ka buok instances diri nagbalik-balik ang letters.
Dua.
Dua.
May duha-duha, okay? So kana pwede na pangitaan sa hacker og patterns. No, dali lang na siya ma-hack kay ngano ang L, if using kay constant man imong shift. So ang L, kung ang L is let's say 4 MNOP. So next ana na ano ang pag-convert nimo, pag-encrypt nimo ng L is puro na P, the same with E. So that is pwede na siya ground for parang dali lang siya ma-decrypt kasi naay pattern. So mo na disadvantage sa Cesar Ciphertext. By the way, nakalimot ko sa Cesar Ciphertext, kailangan di ay since lahi ang nakalimot day ko, no, so na instances na let's say you use, remember na ang kani class ang J is dili na siya the same sa J, not equal to J. So careful ta kasi you might come up or arrive with this different output. Ang gina-expect nimo ang J, dapat ang J is same sa J nga capital, dili na siya pareha. So ang pinaka the best nimo na buhaton dira is you either convert your plain text into two lowercase or uppercase. So pag two lowercase siya, lowercase imong gamiton diri. Pag uppercase siya, imong gamiton is uppercase po diri sa like for sa imuhang sa pag-convert nimo or pag-encrypt or pag-decrypt. So dapat ana. Yan. So yan nakuha?
Excuse sir.
Yes.
What if sir sa Johnny, pareha nang sa Johnny sir, ang isa lang ka letter ang big letters sir, ang J lang.
Oo.
Tapos the rest is small letter.
Okay. So remember person, ang tao, regardless of gamay ang J or dako ang J, pareha lang taog na sabtan. J jud na siya. Tama?
Yes.
Okay. So pag encrypt nimo ana using your alphabet, kung unsa tong J, unsa tong pag-encrypt nimo sa J, same jud na sa unsay understanding sa human. Tama? 'Di ba? Oo. Pero si program nimo, si computer, dili ang J, ang small letter J o capital letter J dili pareha og nasabtan. Tama?
Yes sir. So maglahi.
So that is why magpili ka na i-convert nimo tanan nimong plain text into lowercase or uppercase. So sa program na nimo tirahon, regardless of ang pag-type sa user is capital or lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter, sa program na nimo na dulaon na i-convert nimo siya into lowercase kasi para ang computer nimo would understand regardless of dako na J, pag ma-convert na siya into J, anyway human understand na pag mag-shift ka sa alphabet nimo, regardless kung gamay ba siya or dako imuhang pagbasa ana, it's the same thing in the alphabet. Pag shift nimo, tama? Oo. So sa diri nimo tirahon na sa program para masabtan sa computer unsa imong gusto ipasabot. Kasi kung if that is the case na dili ka magbutang og inani like to lowercase ba or to uppercase, dili nimo ipong convert. So lahi ang output sa program. Example ha, try na to. Okay, may na lang na raise nato na example you have here J. So di ba ang J kay N ana. So pag convert nato ana siya dili na siya kung asa na ni NSLRC tama siya no J. Wait for a while. Pag convert or pag shift nimo ana into N man ni no. Pag ano nimo ana into this one. So kung napansin nimo dili na DY na. Unsay nahitabo? So dili na mao pag decrypt nimo. Kasi sa imong program lahi na iyang pagkabasa sa N o lahi na iyang pagkabasa sa lahi man guni siya og kuan. Lahi man guni ASCII code ang N, lahi pog ASCII code ang basta lahi og ASCII code. So lahi iyahang pagka sana. Basta in short sa computers nimo kani A is 97 tama ba? Ang A nimo is 65. So lahi na jud ang pag-convert ana niya 65, 66, 67 pag uppercase malahi na jud ang iyahang output. Okay? So since human understands the same A ba na small letter A or capital letter A pareha lang pag shift nato diri sa alphabet. Okay? So kitang mag-adjust ang computer ang atong computer atong instruct na unsa ang kailangan niyang basahon. So i-convert lang nimo siya into two lowercase. Okay? And then tanan no, possible na tanan na pwede nga i-ano nimo i-two lowercase nimo para regardless of it is capital letter or small letter what happened. Anyway, basta inana ang mahitabo ana. Okay? Pili ka either i-two lowercase nimo or i-two uppercase. Sige lang pag program nimo ana inyo ra nang masabtan. Balik ta dito sa atuang sana to. Yan, balik ta dire. So you have you will use this one. So Vignere table or Vignere tableau ang tawag. So to convert this into to convert a plain text into an encrypted text, this is what you do. Example, you have here ang kani John Paul ato ang plain text. Sige, so John Paul na plain text using Vignere Ciphertext. Ayan. So you will need instead of shift, ang kailangan nimo is code. Okay, so this time ang kailangan nimo is code, dili na shift. Okay. So kung ang code nimo is let's say ang college. So this time imuha siyang i-partner sa each character sa John Paul. So C O L ana and then C wait wala ayan. So kailangan nimo siya so since kanina lapas man siya with ay kulang siya so kailangan mo balik ka sa C. So para makumpleto nimo na ma-partner nimo ang each character sa John Paul using your code sa college. So ana siya ang inyuhang buhaton for Vignere Ciphertext. So karon para ma-determine nato ang ciphertext ana using Vignere Cipher, this is what you will do. So using the plain text and the code per character, you are going to read it through Vignere Tableau. So in the Vignere Tableau, you'll just need to by the way, ang ano gana is i-convert nimo siya into uppercase tanan. Sa Vignere table or sa Vignere Ciphertext, ang plain text i-convert daw nimo into uppercase at the same time ang code into uppercase. So tanan ma-uppercase na siya. Okay. So this time, J and C inani ang mahitabo. So J and C, asa man ang J and C? So J and C, ang iyahang intersection is L. So, ang imuhang first ciphertext diri is L. Okay? So, O and O. So, O and O, ang intersection nimo is
D.
C.
D ba? C. So, C. So same with as sa H and L. So H and L, ang intersection nimo is S. Ayan. So nanapod kay N and L. So N and L, so that is Y. And then we have P and E. P and E, that is T. And then A and G, sorry, A and G. Okay, A and G. Kani, how about kani? A and G.
G.
So G lang, G gihapon. Okay, good. So we have U and E, U and I, charot. U and E, ang intersection niya is Y. And sa last, we have L and C. L and C, you have N. So mao na imuhang ciphertext. So karon who would imagine walay tay balik no? Walay balik na letter. Example lang nga natay balik na letter. Let's say John Paul G. Example ha, John Paul G lang or John Paul o basta example lang John Paul John. So if ever na inana ang example lang nabalik ang JOHN. So there's a big probability na ang imuhang ang imuhang encrypted text kay dili pareha although J na siya unlike sa ciphertext. Let's say this one is college man no? So O na pud ni, this is L, this is L, this is E. So dili jud na magbalik ang imuhang di na magbalik imuhang code dira. So yeah, pwede mo mag-space dire sa JOHN. Okay. And then for Jan na po, J and O. So J and O, J and O. So X na siya. So dili siya pareha. Unlike sa J, kung ang J and J nimo, if this different ang iyang pag-ciphertext, so ang imuhang hacker karon medyo having so much time or difficulty in tracing it kasi walay pattern na probably magpare-pareha imuhang cipher, magpare-pareha imong text no, pero lahi dayto ang tinuod na plain text ana. Like for an instance, na Y dire. So Y and Y pareha pero ang actually ang Y and Y dira dili na pareha pag plain text. So isa na sa mga advantage using Vigneer ciphertext. So I will prepare a tutorial for this one in a form of probably parang text inside tawag ani. Basta I'll just prepare a tutorial for this one. I-follow lang to ninyo with Vigneer Cipher with using Vigneer Cipher. Okay? Sige. So now that is how you convert cipher. I mean, you encrypt using Vigneer Cipher. Now, ang question karon unsaon imo para makuha nimo ang plain text? So, para makuha nimo ang plain text, ang imuhang pag-read is using the code to ciphertext. So, example, C and L. So, C and L. Ano siya? C, code C, ciphertext L, kinsay na unsay iyahang value?
J.
J, ayan. So J. So O and C na punta. O and C. So unsay sunod? O.
Oh.
Nakuha? Oh. Ayan. So L and S. So L and S. So sunod H. Yan. So ang iyahang next ang plain text is H. So nakuha niyo class unsaon pag convert into encrypt pag decrypt na pod? Nakuha? Hello? Hello? Oh, so kung mag-encrypt ka using Vigneer Cipher, plain text to code. Kung mag-decrypt ka, code to ciphertext. Code to
Ano to, sir?
ciphertext.
Ano to, sir?
kung sa kung mag-encrypt ka using Big Cipher, plain text to code. Kung mag-ciphertext ka, tapos intersection imong kwaon ha, ang intersection ni J and C. Ang intersection ni J and C. Okay, ang intersection ni J and C which is L. So mao na pagkuha nimo sa L. Pagbalik nimo sa J para makuha nimong J, C and L siya, dili siya intersection. So unsa to? Ang code niya is C, ang ciphertext L. So ang code kay C, ang ciphertext kay L, unsa tong column mao to ang imuhang plain text. Example, C and L. Code na C, L na ciphertext, J ang iyahang column equivalent. So another O and C. So sa O and C ang iyahang column ana is O. So O ang imuhang plain text. Okay? Kuha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So question?
Code na lang may maglisod, sir.
Don't you worry, mag-provide ko sa inyo og ano ana code. But dili siya i-provide tanan. Okay? All right. So medyo daghan atong na ano no, taasa sa atong discussion oy. Sige. All right. What I would like you to do now is stop recording sa tabi. Off the record ta. So since our